Hey everybody, it is me, Alex, your bro-in-law, and I wanted to share with you guys kind of a recap of some of a mini campaign because it was lost to the ethers a few sessions and about on session 4 was when it stopped happening. Uh, I want to say early 2013. I can't remember the month per se. I want to say close to February. Uh, I, due to great peer pressure from me, Andre, and Charlie, and yeah, pretty much, we were able to convince Shawn Driscoll to show his magic GMing pro skills in action, instead of him just talking about how great he is and then not really showing his workmanship. So, anyways, he hosted Traveler, his game of choice, and I'm going to. I was fortunate enough to write down all the pages and such, with detail and information of each session. I didn't do that for every campaign, but I felt like since this wasn't being recorded and I was playing as super drunk, a constantly drunk character, that I wasn't really gonna have much to say, and that enabled me to have a lot of time to write down notes. So here you go. I'm going to go ahead and start it off. I named the session, the campaign, Traveling Assholes. The reason why is we kind of played a bunch of jerks. And so I don't remember all the players' full character names, but I'll go ahead and give you a recap right now. Aaron Van Scyoc, or Sock, depends on how you read the spelling of it. He played a traveling gambler, kind of like not hoity-toity, but well-to-do uh, character named Purdy, and then something something. I forgot the last name. Uh, it sucks that I didn't write full names on it because, again, I was not expecting too many issues here. And so yeah, he kind of like a southern drawl kind of thing. Andre Martinez, he was Lieutenant Colonel something Farcaster. Forgot the first name of his, but it was at least Farcaster. That's what we called him all the time. We tried to have kind of spacey names. Charlie Lloyd, he played Dr. Booster. And again, I forgot the first name, so maybe, just maybe, they might watch this and they'll know their thing and go ahead and form the name. And then followed by me, Johnny Blazer. I remember my full name because I was there. It's a little easy to remember my stuff. All right, so here are the notes. Lieutenant Colonel Farcaster and Dr. Booster meet Aaron at the bar. Blazer arrives, puking in a potted plant near the front door. A terrorist group blows up a 7-Eleven building 1 block away from the bar. Blazer notices this and tells everyone he meets that they should be lucky to survive the explosion and to be careful about the explosion. The group decides to go to the rooftop of the bar, because they were in a hotel, and their ship that Purdy just recently won in a gambling contest, kind of thing, is on the roof. The task that the group was assigned with was that Farcaster and Booster was going to assist Purdy because he won a artifact along in the gambling event, and it was so foreign that they sent out like a dispatch to help escort the artifact to a safe location for an analysis. Farcaster knew my character as, being a really good pilot from back in the day. He didn't really knew I had a good drinking problem, but entrusted that my skills would do the job. That kind of thing. So that's why I was there. That was our backstories of why we were meeting in that campaign. We make it to the roof. By the way, it took us 2 hours to get to the roof because we were screwing around that much. Then Aaron's character Purdy reveals his key fob alarm is the sound of a foghorn. Johnny Blazer steals the ship into space and engage hyperdrive unsafely. Because, you have to roll for everything, so I made sure to mention that I rolled, that I failed my roll. That was the first session. We ended on, that cliffhanger kind of thing. We escape because there was another, there was an explosion there, followed by another spaceship in the sky that was shooting at other vehicles along the way. So, like I said, it was a concentrated attack, and it was based off the assumption that that they wanted the artifact, because we were trying to make it sound like we were really important, I guess. Session 2. 2 players are found in the stasis chamber. Sable G played the celebrity Usain Bolt, because the Olympics were going on at the time, and there, he was the fastest runner. I don't think it was going on at the time, but he was like the fastest runner of all the hoi polloi. And then Game Master Rodney from Game Master Toolbox channel, he played a tree man. We didn't get his name, I believe, because trees they all look alike. They don't really have an identity. That's the story that I'm sticking to. Aaron explains the situation to the new players. Purdy does, and then gives them ranks on the ship, because technically Purdy is the captain, and Farcaster is there as an escort along with Booster for medical, in case there was any issues that arrived, that occurred during that process. Dr. Booster verifies if Blazer can operate the ship, because Andre's character is Farcaster. He was pretty confident he can do it, but the medical doctor was not my friend. So he wanted to make sure, like, could this constantly drunk pilot fly the ship correctly? I mean, he was plastered when they first met, and he constantly reminded that there was a fire explosion at nearby 7-Eleven. We were all lucky to be alive, and you should be careful. That kind of thing. That's what he said constantly. Okay, so Farcaster finds out the ship belongs to another captain. He then decides to claim control of the ship, and Booster sedates Purdy. So they did like a little mini mutiny kind of thing, because Purdy said that he wanted in a gambling thing, and it turned out to be an illegal, title to the vehicle to begin with. There was not proper transfer, so he assumed the worst, that it was stolen, and that Purdy may be compromised in trying to get the artifact safely, to military for analysis. And that was pretty much what happened in session 2. Yeah, because I have no notes on that one. We did a lot of play throughout the whole thing. I had quite a bit of fun acting like the drunk, because the way my character worked, at least, is I never said anything with confidence. It was always, oh yeah, maybe we could do that, or I should be able to drive us there. Huh? And then every now and then do a little giggle, because I mimicked I mimicked my brother Scott when he was when he did some drinking one time, and he wasn't fully in control of himself. But during that, I have never had any type of booze whatsoever, so I was doing it purely from inspiration, acting. Alright, Session 3. Farcaster orders ship to stop for an updated information on the ship. For analyzing the ship, making sure everything's hunky-dory, all that kind of stuff. We were in hyperspeed during the entire time of Session 2. The Blazer fails an astrogation roll and stops in a bad area. Purdy wakes up and confronts Farcaster about being knocked out by Dr. Booster. A high-pitched noise occurs, and in the lounge where the artifact was at the time, it was in storage, and the alien artifact activates. Purdy places the artifact in the middle of the room. Farcaster declares it as a beacon, after studying it. They scan it and find it broadcasting a location. The location was J59011 Omega, which was 10 million miles away from our current position. Farcaster demands to keep the artifact, and Purdy refuses to give it. The main reason was he just lost control of what was supposed to be his ship, all that jazz. He's trying to use this as a bargaining chip because he doesn't know how far Farcaster or Booster are going to be trying to go in an attempt to, take stuff from him, that sort of thing. After threatening to dump the artifact, Farcaster chops off Purdy's hand. Since it was the same hand that was getting ready to dump it into vast space. Farcaster seizes control of the artifact, and Purdy is sent to Medical Bay with Booster to fix it, to fix his hand. Reattached all that stuff. Space technology. It works. Farcaster then gives up his weapon and declares he will not strike another member of the ship. He used a sword in order to kind of declaring he dishonored his position as new captain of the ship. I made sure to write that the new part in on purpose because that still is good. Booster then offers Purdy money in exchange to procure more samples from retired Lieutenant Bramble, the Tree Man. So yeah, Rodney's character was Bramble. That was his last name. To make a new biological weapon. Purdy considers the option as his hand is fixed. So during the time they were fixing it up, he was talking with him, saying like, "Hey, could you give me more samples of this Tree Man guy? He'll probably be suspicious of me." That kind of thing. All right. So after some downtime, Blazer informs Farcaster will have to wait a week due to debris between coordinates. And then Driscoll made it a point to reference that even though it should have taken an hour in normal jump drive, based on where we were located, that's why it was going to take roughly a week for everything to settle. Farcaster resides in captain quarters, and Purdy arrives to assume his room, since Purdy was technically the captain when we started this. Farcaster refuses to let Purdy stay in the captain's quarters due to mistrust. Purdy explains his misfortune and convinces Farcaster to give his room back. His misfortune as it's like, dude, you guys are doing all this crap to me. Can I just have my room back? I'm supposed to be the captain. That kind of thing. Farcaster then reveals the cameras on the ship are recording every move each person's making. So kind of giving almost like a paranoia level of I'm watching everything you guys are doing. Kind of giving the impression that he knew way more about what he was going to be involved with than they let on. That kind of thing. Booster is confronted by Farcaster and reveals his secret mission to create a bioweapon that will destroy an invading Compellian force. And to be in a standard science fiction mantra, Compellion is spelled compel, Leon. Compellion. Very, very, very simple, but creative. I liked it. Lieutenant Bramble uncovers encrypted YouTube video, because Google's still around in the far future, showing tactics the Compellians planned on using for the war a year before the current event. Farcaster uses that knowledge and locates the image plus the domain host of the video. Session ends before we find out who owns the site, the website, or who has knowledge of the artifact, that kind of thing. Okay, Session 4. We all finally go into hypersleep and wake up just fine. We stopped to the Isug Ilmu. No, sorry, it's 2 I's. Isugizmu system. We land on a planet and start taking up water into the engine area to convert it into hydrogen. Farcaster fails his role to handle impact, becoming severely nauseous. As a response, Dr. Booster gives him twice the dosage to wake him up. Farcaster is basically on the equivalent of 2 hits of speed. That's what Driscoll made sure to make us aware of. We then wait for 2 hours for the ship to load up. Bramble is concerned for Farcaster. And then, as a side note, Dr. Booster has a doctorate in masturbation. Yep. And this is when it continues to get weird. They start talking about military culture, specifically the Marine culture, and Lieutenant Colonel Farcaster described his how he experimented with homosexuality. And as a response, Dr. Booster said he knows full well what Farcaster was talking about. Samuel G's character, Usain Bolt, walks in naked to show off his muscles and goes back into his sleeping room. Purdy is very interested in Loeb's and the other members' homosexual stories. And we fade into black for the scenes because then it gets kind of weird of the goings on that they do, and they basically engage in an orgy. It's really weird, but yeah, that's what happens. The wood virus samples that Dr. Booster was suddenly lost when he went to go check his locker for the sample, the checkup on it, and highly concerned where it is. Then my note here says, expect extreme paranoia when we investigate each player. I failed my recon check to spot whoever stole the vial. Purdy convinces Booster to go to hypersleep, and Purdy takes this time to investigate the Compellian website. He translates the text into audio, because it was in a foreign language, that kind of thing. We leave hyperdrive and are confronted with Imperium police ships. In the Van Horn system. Farcaster tells Blazer to arm the lasers. Meanwhile, I have none of those skills. I am just a pilot. I basically tell him through roleplay that they seem to be down, and he did not bother rolling to see if I was lying or not. So that was cool. Gas giant planet there was a gas giant planet nearby, and and then I pilot the ship to enter the gas planet to refuel. Um, while Dr. Booster radioed the police ship to wait since we were on emergency fuel. That was the lie that Booster gave, because we already refueled at the water planet in the other session. They wait for the Madeline, because that was the name of the ship that Purdy gave it, at the escort spot that they were supposed to wait for. Farcaster mysteriously falls ill while blasting off into space. I was told to make an emergency hyperdrive launch to escape them. I really don't know why we did that, because there was no real suspicion that they knew the artifact was there or anything like that. We were just trying to, I guess, be cloak and dagger or something like that. The gas planet turned out to be poisoning everyone but Purdy while we were refueling. And then Purdy gets us into the decontamination room. The gas was corrosive and damaged some of the air filters at the bottom of the ship. We fully engaged the jump drive system to the jump drive to the Manassas system, which was Purdy's home planet. And we ended it right there. We were going to come back, but then Samuel G didn't have time to do sessions anymore. And even though he was only involved in, basically 2 sessions, that was the only reason Driscoll continued. And so when he wasn't available, the whole thing ended and silently, faded away as being the thing that we were going to play anymore. And that's about it. Last thing was that we had a cleaning drone, and Andre named it Tiger. And that's it. That was the entire campaign that we were able to do. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, so there you go. There was some good stuff in there, like the fire explosion I love the most, just because Driscoll described it in that specific way, that there was a fire explosion about a block away, and that we should be very lucky to have survived it, that kind of thing. And so I felt like that would be something that's I'm going to fixate on that as the drunk character and constantly tell people that we meet, even if they were not even close to, realizing that there was an explosion because they could have been too high up, that kind of thing. Other than that, yeah. So, have a good time, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.